Hi friends, it's Sarah, the owner and maker behind Multifarious Nature. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're a new viewer, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, a big welcome back to you guys. I'm glad you're here for another episode, and I do apologize for my kind of hiatus the past couple weeks. I guess I'm just gonna come right out and say it. I don't really want to get into the details right now, but it will kind of affect one of my finished objects a little bit, kind of why it doesn't fit very well, and it'll kind of give some context to the project and what's going on with the project. So I don't really want to get into specifics, but if you've been with me for a bit, you do know that my husband and I have been open to growing our family and have experienced losses, specifically early miscarriages. We had 3. Up until recently, we actually did experience our 4th. So I did lose the 4th pregnancy here. They were twins. So I'm so sorry that I wasn't with you guys the past couple of weeks, but I finally feel up to recording at this point. I did go back to work this week, which I think has been getting back to normal. So that was good, I guess, that to an extent. I don't really want to go into the details. If you've gone through loss, I'm very sorry you're going through that, and you know what I'm talking about when kind of going back to normal is kind of odd. But anyway, I don't really want to dwell on that at the moment because I'm actually having a good day. I'm having a really good day. I actually did some dyeing. I did do some yarn dyeing. So I am really excited about that. I'm actually recording on Friday. Sorry the lighting's going to come in and out. We have a weird overcast thing going on, and I'm trying to do the natural lighting end of things. So hopefully, maybe if I take the focus off of my face, I don't know. We'll see. All bets are off how this is going to turn out, you guys. But it's going to be a long one, so I hope you have a beverage. If you don't, maybe you should pause the video and definitely go get yourself something to drink. Because, yeah, it's going to be a long one. I've got myself some nice hydrating water, so keep myself hydrated. That's important. I have some, as I've mentioned, because of everything that's been going on, I have been knitting a lot and spinning a lot, and I have some serious progress to show you guys. I have technically 3 finished objects. I call them finished because one of them is kind of like something to make something else with. So I'm going to show that. It's technically spinning related, but I'll show that with my finished objects because it's a finished object, so it falls into it, I think. So I'm going to start with my knitting first. So this is the object I was talking about. I finished my weekender. Very exciting. I finished it. She is done. As you will see, nothing is woven in, and I'm not wearing it. But I'm not wearing it for multiple reasons. One, it's like 70 something degrees outside Fahrenheit, and wearing this wonderful Gotland lamb fleece would just be way too warm. It's a 3-ply. I would just be dying wearing this right now. So that's not gonna happen. I also have this alpaca up here, but a few things. So one thing I discovered after I finished this is all hand spun, so that's always tricky. But because of the fact that I was pregnant, I'm pretty bloated. My bloating is going down now, which is great. That's the one thing with twin pregnancies, you get extremely bloated because your body's trying to make room for 2 babies instead of 1. So my bloating is going down, which is good because at the moment I tried this on and I was very frustrated with the fact that it is quite tight on my arms. It's fine everywhere else, like the body itself fits fine, and I did block it, but here it's a little snug. Now there is another thing that I didn't do. So because I didn't check gauge, and this is hand spun, and this was a little bit thinner than the Gotland, just by I'd say a hair, I don't know. It's not really that much thinner, but I probably should have knit further on the neck portion. And then I think that, I don't think it would, I know it would make this a little bit wider. I could have done like maybe 2 more rows on each side, so that'd be 4 more rows total, and that would have fit better. At the moment it's a little snug, but like I said, I am bloated, and I think that, I mean, I'm not going to wear this until the winter time, and that'll give me time to get myself back to a healthy place. I've been wanting to do that. I've been trying to do that. As you guys know, I'm trying to do this health journey, get myself healthy and all of that. And it was really hard because when we found out we were expecting, I cut back on doing a lot of exercise and everything. And I know that sounds strange, but I'm just like overly cautious. That's kind of what happens when you've gone through that. Yeah. So I'm just, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to dwell on it. Okay. So the sleeve is just too tight. So I didn't weave in the ends because I want to try this on in the fall. So as it starts to get cooler, closer to being cooler, I will see how it fits. If it is still too snug in the arm, which I'm hoping by then, after doing lots of good exercises, this will fit better. But if it's still tight, then what I'm going to do is, which is slightly not something I want to do, but I will literally rip back the sleeves, and I will undo the top, and literally that, I will also be undoing each section here, so that way I will knit the front and or back, or maybe both. I'm not quite sure. Probably both, because they're equal. Knit both of them a little longer so there's more arm room. Otherwise, the body fits great. You know, the body's all good, but it's the sleeves. So that is finished, but that's kind of why I'm a little frustrated with it. I love it otherwise. If it fit right, I'm sure I would love it so much. But at the moment, it's nothing against Andrea Mowry's design. The Weekenders by Andrea Mowry, if you aren't familiar with it. And I was just really bummed by the whole thing. But it's a lot to do with everything that has gone on, and that's partly why I'm a little frustrated with that. I don't really want to be like ranting about things, but that was a frustrating thing to discover because I really enjoyed that knit. I definitely want to knit it again. I really loved knitting it. It was super easy, and I would definitely make that arm a little bit wider. I just like my arms not to be super tight because, you know, when you make a see, I like can't even think straight still. You know what I mean? Like when you go and do this and your muscle goes up and you can't, it doesn't fit too snug. It's just snug and it doesn't look right. So that is my first finished object. I actually have a second finished object that you guys have not even seen, okay? It took me a week to make these. Yeah, a week. I know. So I don't have the pattern here, or do I? I do have the pattern here. Yay! Okay. The pattern is the 2 at a time toe up socks with afterthought heel. Talk about a long title, but it explains it really well. It's by Trish Campbell. I think it's free. I'm not 100% on that, you guys, but I have not worn them yet because I wanted to show you guys first, but I'm really excited. So I made 2 at a time socks because with everything I was going through and everything that was going on, I needed to do something that would literally take so much focus that I couldn't think about other things. And this did it, because many people tend to say that it's really tricky to do 2 at a time socks. Like it's really tricky. I did not find it to be really tricky, actually. At the beginning, just trying to figure out how to cast them on was a little tricky. But once I got them cast on, I was golden. It's from the toe up, and I completed a whole pair of socks in a week. So that's crazy. Now, that's not working. I was not working, so I literally, like, any free time, and I was trying to take care of myself because I was going through a trauma. You know, I really was focusing on this a lot. And it has afterthought heel. I've never done an afterthought heel before. So many things. I will tell you, I love the 2 at a time socks. I love that so much that I immediately cast on the second pair once I finished this one. So you'll see, this was gifted to me yarn, and let me see if I don't think I have the ball band. Oh dear. Sorry guys. I think it's like Debbie Bliss or something yarn. It is a commercial yarn. So it's like as you knit it, it creates pattern. One ball had like already been partially used, so that's why they did not start at the same spot. But that actually was really helpful, because being my first time doing this, then I could very easily tell which sock was which, and that they weren't the exact same. However, as you progressed, then you started working with the same color basically, but they're two separate balls. So I definitely worked from two separate balls for this. That is, I recommended. They always say don't. The many very experienced sock knitters tend to say do not work from a single ball, like pulling from the center and the exterior for the two separate socks. I've heard don't do that, and it can cause like crazy confusion and mess. So guys, I tried these on, and I am so happy with how they fit. So happy. I can't get over it. So I made it tall enough that I can wear them with my skates. I haven't been able to skate much this year yet, and now I'll be able to skate, so that's another great way to exercise. And I'm really excited to wear my socks for the very first time. I know, aren't they fun though? Look at these colors. They're so pretty. It's like a heathered magenta kind of color. And then there's this really pretty, very light speckling of the blue and green, and it's kind of like this mossy green, but it's really, really light speckling, and I just think it's so pretty. And there's almost like a light green stripe. You can see that. It's a very light mossy stripe. It's just so beautiful. So I really, really loved it. And then I just used the exact same color for the heel, and it's pretty crazy. They're pretty similar. The heels are pretty similar, but the funny part is because of where I left off, there's literally one stripe of this color here in between the stripes, so I ended up with like a really wide stripe there. They're really fun. You know, it's a learning experience, and I love it. So I do recommend this pattern if you're looking to do 2 at a time socks and you want to also try an afterthought heel. It's a great way to learn multiple things. Now, I've never worn these, so I don't know how they're going to wear, how the heel is going to feel, and all that good stuff, but I am excited. I know Andrea Mowry says this all the time. They're amazing because if you wear through your heel, you can literally just rip out your heel and put a new one in. I tend to, if I wear through my heel, I tend to wear through it here, which is past the afterthought part. So we'll see if that really helps me or not. Or I tend to wear through the sole of my sock as well. But yes, really loved it. Loved it. So that's my second finished object. And then my third is a skein of yarn. So I spun up, I don't think I talked about this. I'm pretty sure that I finished this during like 2 weeks ago, but I honestly can't really remember very well. So we're going to go with it. We're going to say I didn't do it. If I did, then just pretend that I didn't. So I finished my another skein of CVM, and this is the sample. It's kind of all hodgepodgey. This is the first sample that I did. It's 2-ply, and it is more on the worsted weight side of things, and this is hilarious because I spun this up almost to a true fingering. I have around, I think it's 432 yards of yarn here, which is crazy town for me. I don't think I've ever been so consistent, and I don't know, but it's beautifully bouncy, and I think it's more of like a fingering DK weight, but the yardage comes to like a fingering weight. So now that's the tricky part, because when I measure it on my nitty natty, and it kind of stretches it out. So it probably is closer to like a DK weight when it's all squished back, you know. But it's beautiful. It's a gray CVM fleece, and I say gray, but it's very, you know, variegated fleece. Light grays, dark grays, medium grays. Beautiful. And super stinking soft. Oh, I look forward to making a sweater. Excuse me, a sweater with this. Gotta get something to drink before my voice goes away. All right, so those are my finished objects for today. Yeah, lots of finished objects. I just did a lot there. Now I tend to work on a lot of projects at once, so sometimes it just so happens I end up finishing a couple of them, but usually I'm like one finished at a time. So that's kind of fun. Like I said, I cast on another project. Of course I did. And this is using my Advent yarn from last year from my Multifarious Nature calendar. It is I think it's the third week. It is the Silent Night sock set, because I did sock sets last year. It's a really pretty kind of a teal tonal, and then there's some fun speckles. Actually, it's not even just, it's not really teal. It's kind of a greenish blue though, like a more green. It's pretty true to color here. I'm trying to look at the screen so you guys can give you true, but it has like the red speckles and everything, kind of like your I cannot speak today, you guys. I'm sorry, my words are gone. But there's little red speckles throughout, and it's definitely holiday oriented. That's what this was, a Christmas Advent calendar. And yeah, it's really pretty. I do think I have at least one more in the shop. If you guys are looking for an Advent this year, this would be a super fun one. Or to give it as a gift to someone else that you know loves knitting or crochet. They're sock sets, but you can do whatever you want with them. I am making socks with them though. So I just started knitting these up. So I just have these teeny little toes right now. Just have little toes going. But it's just so much fun. So yes, I have two toes. And then what I do, so this might help you if you're trying to do, excuse me, the 2 at a time socks, because you're beginning around, yes, you can see where it is by this, but once the sock gets longer, this will be hidden. So I put a little removable stitch marker at the side that is the beginning of round. So that really helps me keep track of when I've completed a round. So if you're trying to learn how to do the 2 at a time, there's a little tip that I found helpful. But you can see little speckles here. So pretty. So I goofed because I was going to do the toes, heels, and cuffs with this mini. But I decided that I'm just going to do the heels and cuff with that because it is a small amount, and I mean I could probably do all 3, but we're gonna just do the heel and cuff. I got my neighbors shooting guns off out there. Sorry about that. I live out in the country. If you hear crazy noises, don't be alarmed. I'm doing magic loop method with this. It is magic loop. I think that's what it even says on here to do it. Magic loop. You could probably do it multiple ways. I'm doing magic loop. I love this so much. I don't think I will ever make socks any other way. I really don't think so. I guess this is with the afterthought heel. So, but I feel like you can still do this method if you're doing like your heel flap and gusset. I think you can still do this method. I haven't tried doing it yet, but I think you probably can based off of like thinking through how to do it. So yeah, I just love it. And I love all these little speckles. They're so much fun. I love knitting speckled yarn for socks. It is so much fun. Or like patterned, if it's self-striping or something. It really motivates you to keep going. So if you're trying to get socks done and you're like, I'm going to lose my mind, try doing something that is patterned or speckled, because you probably will enjoy it more. Just a tip, just an idea, just a thought. Let's see here. And what else do I have? I have 2 more projects that I've been working on. That's a lot of projects, you guys. I've been working on a lot of projects this week. Or weeks. Past couple weeks. This is weeks of work. So let's be real. This is almost a month's worth of work, all this stuff. So this one is my test knit that I'm working on for Taylor E. Owen. So for those of you that have been following, I'm so excited. I loved seeing the finished objects some of you have. They are so beautiful. They look so nice. I love it so much. And I am super excited because I figured out my buttons too. And I don't think I talked about that yet with you guys. So I figured out my buttons. If I did already, again, whoops, and you'd take notes, you know. But I am using my Ember colorway, Multifarious Nature Ember colorway, and I have a sleeve done, and the body, and the button band, and I am just working down the next sleeve here. So there you go. I am cruising. I am cruising along. So yes, you can see there is like a line here where it is darker, but I feel like it is enough of a kind of, it doesn't really fade, but it kind of does. I don't know. I like it. It doesn't really, it doesn't bother me. I mean, it doesn't bother me. So I have a chunk of the darker ember. This was just a different dye lot, and it does end up quite different. So you never know, but it's very similar. It's similar enough that I think it's going to be totally fine when I'm wearing it. I don't think it's going to be a problem, but that's just, if you're someone who's particular about that, that's why I try my very best to match dye lots for you. So I dye more than what people order, and then I match the ones that look the most alike, because I always try to match them the best for you. But I also highly recommend that this is being held double. It's my fingering weight Peruvian Highland wool. I'm holding it double, and then that for sure helps when it comes to hand-dyed yarn, if you want it to look more blended. But there you go. So this is that Better Waverly cardigan is actually the name of it. I'll tell you that it's not available quite yet. And the test knit ends in August, so just gotta wrap that up, but I am almost there. Like I said, I tried it on and it looks super flattering at the moment. It's a little it's not quite sitting quite right yet, but it's not been blocked, and you can see that the bottom is all like tapered and like that. So I think when I block it, it'll open up some of this ribbing a little bit, but I know it'll fit great though. It looks really good because the ember is basically my black. It's a nice warm black, and it just really is very flattering, the fit. So enjoying it, Taylor. I love it. Okay, so there's that one. And I'm cruising along. I thought this was going to be a lot longer. I don't know. Maybe I'm not as long-winded as I thought. I have other things to show you. I do have an acquisition at the end I want to show you guys. I'm pretty excited about it. All right. And, the last project that I've been working on is another sweater, because why not? It is, let's see here, what is the name of this sweater? Oh, here we go. The Mascari. It's called the Mascari, and it's a boxy pullover. It's a long sleeve, so I'm totally not going to be wearing this until the cooler months, that's for sure, especially when they tell you the fiber content. And it is by Marie Amelie Designs. Now, this was free. I don't think it is anymore, but it's beautiful. So it's so pretty and lightweight. You're using a larger size needle. The primary needle is a 7 for the body. So it's a nice, decent size needle. And then you can see based on, it's a very easy cabling texture, and it causes this really pretty chevron motif that goes down the body. And then it's also on the back. So I'll show you. There's the back shot. Isn't that pretty? So it has a similar fit, it looks like, for the sleeves and everything. The sleeves, at least, not the neck, but the sleeves are similar to the Weekender. So if you like that kind of boxy fit, you'll probably like it. And then, but it does have that nice circular neckline, which I feel like is flattering on a lot of people. So what am I using? I am using some beautiful yarn that I found at the thrift store semi-recently that I think I told you guys about it because I was pretty excited about it. And it has, I think it has, I don't know if it has alpaca in it. It for sure says that it has, oh my gosh, my brain, I'm sorry. Just get, pardon my reach. Mohair. Oh my word. It's fuzzy. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. But it's mohair. You can see the nice halo here. But it's called, so it's by Collins and Aikman. It's Alpaca. And it's the honey colorway. I think that's what it's called. It's really pretty. I think it's just going to be the most flattering color. It's kind of a bit of a peachy, it's a light peachy color. Hoping this isn't going to get like super washed out. There we go. Oh, I think that's kind of accurate. So it's a very light peachy, pink color. Peachy. It's not exactly pink, but you can see I did the back short row shaping, so that gives me that depth of the back. And then this is the front, and it's obviously much less of that drop. So it has some nice back row short row shaping. It's German short rows. Really like how it's turning out. It's so soft. It's very lightweight. This is basically a lace weight, so I'm holding it double, and it's creating a really nice fabric. This would be a nice lightweight sweater, and then it's not exactly see-through. It's not exactly see-through, but I know that once it gets washed, it's gonna puff up even more because of the mohair. I'm excited because I don't own any mohair sweaters, and I did put this up against my neck. I put this like up against my neck. I put it up against my chest because those are the areas that I tend to be the most sensitive when it comes to fibers itching and all of that. And it did not itch. And this was one, like, I talked about it in my last video. It was a score that I found at one of my local thrift stores, and it cost me $4. And it's a cone of yarn, like a whole cone. So, and it's mohair. I mean, gosh, that could be so expensive and hard to find. So I think it's really beautiful. I think it does say that it is washable, so I'm guessing that it's super wash, but I don't know. But there you go. So this is really pretty. I'm loving knitting on it, and I'm using my wooden knit picks needles, the 4-square kind. So it's nice to go from the metal to this because it's really kind to my fingers, especially after working on the socks with those teeny needles. The needles I've been using for the socks are a 1.25, I think, or a size 1.5, yeah, 1.5 needle for the socks. So this is a size 7, and then the ribbing was a size 6, so you just go down a size for that. But it's just really fun, and I think this is going to be the prettiest little sweater that I can wear to work. I can wear so for casual situations. I can wear it for like dressier situations. I just feel like this is going to be a really nice all-around sweater, and I'm trying to create more pieces like that I can just wear all the time, and it's not just for one occasion. I think that's pretty important because it takes so much work. You don't want to only be able to wear it one time. And so all I did was, like I said, I caked it up, and I'm holding it double. So I pulled from the center and from the outside, and I'm knitting it held together. And it's working up beautifully. I love it. It's delicate on its own, but because it's 2-ply, and like I said, it's lace, but being held together, then it becomes like 4-ply. So bear with me. Gotta keep myself hydrated. All that dyeing, I'm running around. I am getting kind of dehydrated. Okay, and the last but certainly not least, so those are all the projects I've been working on, and my works in progress currently that I'm working on. I got a package, so it's really exciting. I'm sorry to say they're not available anymore. She sold out, which is a good thing. I'm excited for her that she sold out, and I'm grateful I was able to nab one right away, so I got to kind of put in my request for what I wanted. I ordered it like ASAP. When I saw she was on a podcast with Carrie of My Woolen Mitten. Hi, Carrie. I know Carrie watches the podcast, and she's amazing, and her farm is so beautiful. I watch it from her podcast, and her little sheep. She has some Shetland sheep, and she does have some other breeds as well, but she definitely has some Shetland sheep, and they're so cute, and it's really fun to see them. And yeah, it was very inspiring to see and learn from her a little bit before we got our sheep, because we have 3 Shetland sheep, if you're new. Okay, so Carrie inspired me, and I took advantage of her from when she interviewed. She interviewed the owner of Kids and Critters Farm. So I will just not have to show you. You don't want to see the label. I don't want to see the label. Kids and Critters Farm. And this is what came in the box. So it's a blended breed sampler box. So I am trying not to buy more fleece and all that, because my goodness, I have so much already at the moment. Like, why do I keep buying things? But this is pretty cool. So I'll include her information, and her name is also Carrie, but I'll include her information below as well, because I don't know if this is going to be in reverse for you guys, but it's Kids and Critters Farm, LLC, and she makes quality, holistically raised livestock products and services. And I think I have one of the products I put up here. Hold on a second. Bear with me as I reach. Okay. So the box is really neat. It came with a bunch of products that she sells, and she crossbreeds sheep. So a lot of these are crossbreeds that I've never spun before. That's for sure. I've never spun any of these, and I'm really excited about it. So she's got some of her beauty products in here too. She has a lavender rosemary. She had 2 different scents, and this one's the lavender rosemary one, and it is a wonderful lotion, which actually I'm going to use some. It's a goat's milk lotion. Put some on because my hands could use it at this moment, but it's just wonderful and very herbal. Very herbal and moisturizing. It's wonderful. And then here is the inside of the box. So it comes with a bunch. So it came with 6 mixed breed fleeces, and then it came with a roving as well. So we have a Leicester long wool and Corriedale. That is the white in the corner, super soft. Shetland Romney, which I have to say I'm really impressed. I have touched many a Romney, and I did not realize how soft they can be. This is quite soft. And then there's a Leicester long wool and Teeswater, which I definitely see the Teeswater in that, the little curl on there. And then we've got Shetland and Finn, which is this beautiful gray. Oh my gosh, I'm a sucker for a gray fleece, you guys. So beautiful. and then a Finn and Corriedale mix, which is also extremely soft. And then Harlequin, which that's a new one to me. Harlequin is a very new to me breed. I got really excited when I heard about the Harlequin that she had it, and I was like, okay, that alone makes me curious. I think, if I am understanding correctly, I don't think there's as many of those out there, the Harlequins. But she does what she calls blending on the hoof, which I think is so cute, where, she's you can buy different breeds and blend it on a drum carder, things like that, but she actually blends it by the breeds, like actually crossbreeds. So that's really cool. I mean, it's just unique, and I'm intrigued to try it, And then this was she included as a like little freebie, a thank you, and it is the Corriedale long wool roving sample. So she had one that was like I think it was a Romney, and it was a cream, and then this one is the brown, which I thought was so beautiful. It's really gorgeous. It's got this like nice deep reddish brown. I'd almost say it's not black though, but I know many sheep kind of look black. This is roving though, so this is actually prepped, where these other ones are all raw fleece. And I love how she has them all labeled and numbered so they match with the little thing here. So what I'm going to do when I clean these is I'm going to clean them and then I'll put them back in the little containers. That way I'll know what they are, because I'm pretty sure that when I do this, I'm going to wash all of them at the same time in separate baths, that's for sure. That way I'll be good to go, and I won't have to worry about having to constantly just keep washing, because they're 1 ounce samples. And there's also a soap. So she gave me the lotion and the soap are the same scent. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. It smells really good in the lotion, but it smells like even better in the soap. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm such a sucker for soaps, especially when it's goat's milk soap. Goat's milk soap is my favorite. If you're looking for, I've not used hers yet, but I would say recommend it because she was so great. Her customer service is amazing. I didn't have any issues with the package. It's just that when I ordered it, my internet was being a little wonky and I wasn't quite sure if my order went through. So I emailed her and she got back to me really quickly. So I so appreciated that. And she's just been wonderful to deal with, work with emailing and everything. So yes, simple or smooth naturally, and it's a deep cleansing soap, and it smells so good. Oh my word. Oh, it smells amazing. I can't stop smelling it. I think I feel like a nutball. Anyway, yeah, and the wonderful goat's milk lotion is amazing. And it's always nice when the first ingredient is the like key ingredient that you want. Like the goat's milk is super moisturizing, and that is the first ingredient on the list. So I love that, and I love supporting small businesses, family-owned businesses. This is awesome. So I am so grateful. Thank you, Carrie, of Carrie from my Wool and Mitten podcast. I am so grateful that you interviewed Carrie from Kids and Critters Farm, because I'm just so tickled. I didn't know anything about her other than when you shared about her, and that's because I just hadn't stumbled across her yet, and I'm really grateful. So if you're not familiar with this, definitely check her out. She does, I think, her fleeces tend to sell quickly, I think. I don't know if she had any on her site, but I think she has some samples and such that you can purchase, and I think she might have yarn. I'm not 100%. I can't remember. Probably should research that before I talked about it. But anyway, definitely check her out. Keep an eye on her. Like, follow her. If I don't remember if she's on Instagram, but definitely go to our website. Check it out. I highly recommend it. Anyway, yeah, so it's Kids and Critters Farm and some fun stuff that I purchased, and I just wanted to share it. I'm really grateful I was able to nab one because I just felt kind of like that was an opportunity that I might not get really very often. So it's fun to do that. And I think I was also kind of looking for a distraction when everything was going on. So, it happens. And she shipped really quickly. Super fast shipping. I also live in Michigan, and she lives in Michigan, so that's probably why I got it super fast too. But she shipped it I think 2-day shipping or something. It's so fast, so fast. Okay, I think that is everything for this week, you guys. If you're still with me, it is a long video. See, I knew it was gonna be long. So life update, I kind of touched on some of that already, but I guess with the life update and things, I can get a little more personal. I'm not gonna talk in great detail, but that is partly why I was kind of hinting that there was something that we wanted to talk about, and this is so bizarre. Okay, anyway, actually, when I first started hinting, there's something that we were working on for a while that I wanted to talk about. It's actually the fact that we are in the process. Well, we're technically on hold at the moment, but it's so bizarre. It's a weird place to be in right now. Just mentally, I'm having a struggle right now, but it's all good. I'm totally fine. It's a kind of a roller coaster of emotion, different than I've ever experienced when it comes to children, because we had been, as of December last year, we started the process of going down the road of adoption, which we were always open to doing, and it's just one of those things where we didn't realize that was how we were going to start growing our family. Like, we didn't realize that might be the path, and we definitely felt the pull that was the way it was going to go, because after we experienced 3 losses, we're like, okay, well then we will start with this, down this path instead of what we thought we were being called to do. And so we started down that path, and we actually found out we were approved. So after doing a home study, which takes like 3 months and all that good stuff, we did find out we were approved, which is amazing. And the next day we found out we were pregnant. So if you can imagine that kind of crazy shift going on. And then we had to tell our caseworker, so then she had to put us on hold. Unfortunately, that's the way it works. I understand, they don't want you basically like delivering a baby yourself and also getting a baby from someone else at the same time. Like, that can be, like birth order and all that good stuff. And I'm sure just it's easier, I guess, to do that. I guess I get it. So we're on hold, and now, we basically have to reactivate our status is where we're at right now. And it's just a weird place to be in. It's very strange to be there. So that's the oddness of it all. Like, that we were, I am excited about the adoption process. It's just weird because, we really felt strongly like that's how we're supposed to go, and then we got pregnant again, and now we're going back, and I feel a little bit like I'm being tugged in different directions, and I question a lot of things. So, yeah, if you are someone of faith as we are, and you don't mind adding us to your prayer list, I would greatly appreciate it. We've had so many wonderful people praying for us and for clarity and understanding the path we should be going down, and it has been very confusing right now. So It's all good. It'll be fine. It will be okay. Everything will be okay. That's the thing. If you are in the pits of your loss right now, which technically I am as well, I'm just in a weird place. Unfortunately, this is not my first loss. This is our fourth. And so through all of the different losses, I have felt differently every single time. And this last one, I've been struggling. And it's not, I don't know, it's strange. It's a strange place to be. So I'm not going to dwell on it too much, but I did want to just say that it's been a lot. And so when it comes to doing certain things, I'm still trying to kind of deal with like what I'm going through, if that makes sense. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, if you're in the pit of the grief, and you're just thinking how can we get past this, I'm here to share that you can get past it. You will be okay. It doesn't seem possible. It really doesn't. You honestly think, like, how can I get up each day, and how can I go on, and how can I feel joy, and how can I live this life when my babies aren't in it, like, they're not here on this earth with me. But you can and you will. It is very difficult. It's extremely important that you have helpful people around you that care for you, that are kind, that are patient, that will allow you to just deal with your grief. Like, share your grief and just listen. Even, like, I think that's half of it. For those of you that maybe know someone going through this and you don't know how to help them, which I totally understand, it's a hard position, because before this has all happened to us, we had no idea how to react, other than just, obviously, you care for the person. But being kind, being there for them, just even to listen, just asking how they are. I've had friends reach out to me and ask me how I am doing. And that means so much to me, because one, they're thinking of me, and two, I can just share how I'm feeling. And the best part is I know they aren't going to judge me for my response. That's the most important thing. Because if someone asks you how you're doing, and then you share how you are doing, like, really how you are doing, because that's important, and then they tell you to basically get, like, they don't, I'm trying to think of how to put this. they don't allow you to feel the way you're feeling. Like, they basically tell you that's not acceptable. That is not helpful. So if you know someone who's going through this and you're telling them how to feel, please don't tell them how to feel. Please don't. I know you're coming from a place of love, but please don't tell them how to feel. They're going to feel the way they're feeling, and everybody feels different. So, grief in general, right? Loss in general is difficult. It's difficult to get through. You need to get through it, though. Like, that's the important part. You need to go through it. And I've known people that like to not acknowledge it. They like to pretend, we'll just ignore it. But then when they're at work in the middle of everything, or they're in a meeting in the middle of everything, all of a sudden someone will say something and they just can't, they break down. They just completely break down. And it makes no sense. Like, based on whatever's going on, it has nothing to do with what's going on, but they literally just break down. And it's so hard, because you need to deal with it. You got to deal with your grief. It's so important. If you need to seek counseling, do that. I do. I talk to someone, and that has helped me so much through this process. Yeah. So again, I don't want to dwell on it. It is really it's hard, and everybody knows it's difficult, and everybody knows it's difficult in a sense, but a lot don't truly understand how difficult it truly is. Like, I mean, this is your child, and they're gone. So I'm not going to dwell on it, though, because it will make me very upset, because it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. But anyway, yeah. So please hug your loved ones. Hugs are always good. I constantly hug my husband and my friends, because hugs are healing. And they not only help, that person, but they help you too. So, because when you give a hug, you get a hug. So, there you go. Hug your loved ones. And if someone's okay with it, obviously, don't just hug a random person and they're not okay with it. But if somebody looks like they're having a hard day, maybe ask them if they could use a hug. Because you never know. You might just leave them happier and in a better state than they were before you give them a hug. Right? All right. Be kind to others, and take care of yourselves. And I hope you're happy, healthy, and I hope you're creating. And I look forward to chatting with you soon. Take care.